I fell into a burning ring of fire. Hey guys, my name is Reese. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to present to you my Donald Trump impression. This video is actually going to be split into two parts. So part one here coming up in a moment is going to be me doing the impression itself. And then part two, right after that, is a breakdown of the voice and some helpful tips and tricks on how you can start practicing the Donald Trump impression yourself. So if that's an interest of yours, I highly recommend you stay past the impression part and watch this video from start to finish. Cool. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it.
This is your president, Donald J. Trump. I said it once and I'll say it again. I have the best voice. I really do. I've listened to all the president's voices. They're not really as good as mine. They're really bad. They're really disgraceful. They sound weak. They sound like weak little mice on the ground, just chirping like this. Let me tell you, I gotta hand it to Reese. He's really portraying me honestly. Look at this handsome fellow right here. My picture, the picture quality itself, it's really terrific. It's really fantastic. And if this was the fake news media, it would look like this, folks. It would look like this. A mandarin orange made in China. Completely ridiculous. Make it go back, folks. This is too hard to watch. They're not doing too good, folks. They're really not doing too great. Let me tell you, quite frankly, I don't really care. I play on Baron's PS4 sometimes. I play Call of Duty Warzone. Baron, he's not so good. He's really not that great at this game. He's really a complete disgrace, let me tell you. A complete disgrace at this game. His kill-death ratio, his win-loss ratio is really not that great, Baron. Let me tell you, I'm better at Call of Duty than you. I have an entire country to run, and somehow I'm better at this game than you. I think that reflects very poorly on you. It's very, very embarrassing for you. I don't know exactly how you feel about this. I like this water. I really like this water. I do. It's the best water. I drink water every single day. I have to. If I don't, it's going to be a really, really bad time for me. But I drink this water. I like this water. Water is kind of falling out of fashion these days. It's not as popular as it once was. Maybe because water just doesn't have any taste. Crooked Hillary, here we go, here we go. Crooked Hillary never seems to run out of those get out of jail free cards. You know the cards I'm talking about, those cards where you play Monopoly and it's a card and it lets you get out of jail for free. She never runs out of them. And maybe she counterfeits them, who knows. She's got a printing press, I'd bet. She has a whole printing press in the back of her house, just probably cranking them out. It seems really, really strange to me, quite frankly, how she keeps getting away with it.
Alright guys, for this final bit, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a bit as Donald Trump where it's like a voicemail or like an audio message that's meant to be played for a group of your friends who are just all blitzed, just high, baked out of their minds, so that you just freak them out thinking that Trump's like knows they're high or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's what this next bit is. Alright.
Gentlemen, this is your president, Donald J. Trump, calling you because it's been brought to my attention that you've been smoking a lot of reefer. A lot of marijuana, a lot of weed, whatever the kids are calling it these days. It seems like it's always changing, the name of this stuff. But either way, you've been smoking a lot. It's been brought to my attention. And need I remind you that marijuana is still illegal under federal law. So I'm going to come down there to your doorstep from Air Force One. It can be there in about 20 minutes. Let me tell you, it's a really terrific thing. And I'm going to come in there. We're going to come in there with the Secret Service, and we're going to make you smoke all the rest of your stash. It sounds like fun. It's not. I guarantee you it's going to get really crazy after a little bit. I'll bring a pizza, but you're not going to be allowed to eat it. We're going to eat it in front of you. I'll see you soon.
Alright guys, we've reached the end of the impression component of this video. Now, I'm going to provide for you 3 tips and tricks on how to do the Donald Trump impression voice. Tip number 1 is that Donald's voice is from the chest and the nose. It's like 50-50, not 100% from the nose. So, what I mean by that is that when a lot of people do Donald Trump impressions, they do the voice like 80 to 100% from the nose, all the way up the top in the head voice area. They don't do enough down here. And a lot of people forget that Donald Trump is old. He's like in his mid to late 70s, if I remember correctly. And older guys have deeper voices. It happens to every guy. Your voice just naturally gets deeper as you age. So while it may have been accurate at one point to do a Donald Trump impression where it's mostly head voice, mostly nasal, like this, and let me tell you, quite frankly, this is kind of what Donald sounded like when in the 1980s when he was cutting lots of deals, and this is exactly what he sounded like. So that's more accurate from when he was younger. But when you hear a lot of people do Donald Trump impressions now, they keep it at that. So they go, Donald Trump. So this is my impression of Donald Trump. Let me tell you, quite frankly, this is my impression, and it's all up here. It's all up here, let me tell you. Quite frankly, oh my God. All right. It's like, no. You got to take it low. So it's 50% talking from the chest, 50% up here. So how I do it is 50-50, where it's like,
and quite frankly, it's really something terrific. It's really a fantastic thing. It really is. It's really a really good thing for this country. And believe me, I know that this is really not good. It's really, really not good. Not good for this country at all. At all. Oh,
you can hear I go lower in the chest. Tip number 2 is that Donald Trump has 2 different voices. He has one voice when he's mic'd up and he's like really close with an interviewer, or he's maybe even, he's speaking into a microphone up close at a press conference, for example. When he just has to go, I call him room temperature Donald, where he doesn't need to raise his voice. He doesn't need to get fired up. He doesn't need to go into the fire and brimstone kind of territory. That's voice 1. Voice 2 is rally Trump. That is way more than room temperature Trump. That's when his voice becomes something different entirely in a lot of ways. It's where he raises it up like this. It sounds a lot like this, folks. They're not sending their best, folks. It goes really high like this. Really complete disgrace, let me tell you. Quite frankly, it's really bad, folks. It's like that. So it goes, when it gets louder, you'll notice that he's not really speaking so much from the chest, and he's not really speaking so much from the nose so much anymore. It's really in the throat. It's really largely there. And so recognizing that and kind of playing around with that in your own version of the impression is very critical, because the way I do it personally is I do a little bit of a blend, right? I do room temperature Donald, speaking up close to the mic like he doesn't need to raise his voice, like speaking like this. And when I speak like this, I'm not having to raise my voice. I never have to raise my voice when I'm in this room. I never have to raise my voice when I'm in this room. I just speak exactly like this, and it's really a complete disgrace. Really bad look for you. It's not going to end very well for you. I'm telling you this. I'm doing you a huge favor. I'm doing you a huge favor. So when he doesn't need to raise his voice, but then rally Trump is, I just did it. It's something completely different. So I interject a little bit of rally Trump into room temperature Trump, and I kind of lilt up and down. I kind of go crossover between those two. So to wrap up tip number 2, maybe if you're doing this impression for a large group of friends or at a party or a gathering, you can do rally Trump, and it's a little bit easier, honestly, if you ask me. You don't have to really dip low and dip into certain really chest voice territory that might be harder to pull off for some people. You can kind of just stay hot and loud and fiery. And if you capture a certain nasal tonality while you do it that is distinctly Trump, then that's a pretty good Trump impression, if you ask me. So if you really are struggling with this impression, stick with fire and brimstone, rally Trump, and work your way down to maybe the more complex chest voice, room temperature Trump. If that all made any sense, I hope it did. So, and finally, tip number 3 is when you actually speak like Trump, you need to get his vocab down, and you need to capture his sentence patterns of making a statement and then qualifying it, and reiterating the statement with a set of about 5 to 10 choice adjectives and descriptive phrases. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about, quite frankly, terrific, tremendous, astounding, fantastic. There's a couple more, but you know what I'm talking about, right? He'll just circularly address the same statement by qualifying it with different adjectives, and then he'll move on to the next one. So you got to capture those sentence patterns to really pull this off. Run on sentences that are like that. And when I'm saying all this, guys, I'm not like making fun of him. I'm not like trying to like rag on him. I'm just describing how he speaks. So remember those key vocab words, those words that his quick list, his speed dial words, I'll call them, that he always uses, and then really capture the sentence pattern of just reiterating the same statement with a lot of those while going down the list of those words that he always uses. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that was helpful to you guys. Yeah, that wraps up the tips. All right, guys, that about does it for me today. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. That helps me out a lot, actually. And also feel free to comment down below as well. Let me know what you thought of this voice, this impression. Let me know of any other impressions you might want to see me do. I love reading the comments, so feel free to do so. Anyway, guys, thank you again very much for watching this far. My name is Reese. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.